Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another Raw vlog. I know you didn't think I'd be back this early, but alhamdulillah, we're making it happen. All right, so today I wanted to talk about an issue which is very, very common, widespread in our culture and society, and that is the issue of cursing and using profanity and all that kind of stuff. Now, as you know, profanity and cursing and all that, it's kind of become part of our language. It's become part of our culture, where it's very hard to go a day without hearing cursing. And it's kind of like it's become part of our language as well. And sometimes it had a lot, like we don't even realize we're cursing. And if you look at the online world, for example, people will use words like, let's say things like LMAO or WTF or whatever. And these are like good or practicing Muslims and things like that, right? So it's become so common. It's become so accepted. And for us as Muslims, this is something that we should actually rise above, right? We have the statement of Anas radiallahu ta'ala an, for example, and I believe it's mentioned in the Sahihain, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, in which he said the Prophet ﷺ never used like obscenity. He never cursed people. He never used like foul language. And this is to teach us that he is our role model, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to try our best to be like that. So even though it's like the norm in our society or whatever, or it's accepted that people curse, like I said, we got to be above that. The problem with being in an environment where people curse is that we may be in that environment, or we may have friends or whatever that curse, and we may not take part in it. But the reality is that the more time we spend in that environment, the more desensitized we're going to get. So it could lead to a time where, you know, we start cursing as well. You can try this. You can try this experiment. Go a week without hearing any cursing. So like if you watch TV shows that have cursing and stuff, like just stop watching them for a week. Stop being around people that curse a lot, and just go like a week without hearing any type of profanity or cursing. If you go back after that week and you go hang out with, for example, your friends who curse, you're going to feel a big difference. Why? Because when you spend time away from a sin or something bad, your heart kind of goes back to its natural state of purity. But as I said, the more time you spend within a sin, or time you spend being surrounded by a sin, the more you're going to become desensitized to it, and the more it's not going to be a problem. The second issue I wanted to talk about was using the N-word. Now, I've seen this happen, subhanAllah, like young, desi kids or whatever, using the N-word like it's no big deal, right? Now, my opinion is no one should use the N-word. Even if you're black or African-American, I don't think anybody should use that word. It's not a good word. It, you know, has that history to it, and it's derogatory and all that kind of stuff. We need to be above that, but especially young Muslim kids thinking it's okay or whatever. I know why Muslim kids will sometimes use that word. I think it comes from a sense of relatability, or they can relate to the African-American cause, or you know, kids, you know, they see themselves as, it's kind of like a parallel, you know, the struggles that African-Americans went through in America, being a minority and all that kind of stuff, being misunderstood, blah, blah, blah. And that kind of gives a young Muslim kid the sense of thinking that, you know, they are just as entitled to use the N-word as someone who's black, for example. But like I said, I don't think anybody should be using the N-word, but especially young Muslims or young Muslim kids. And I know I said it's Desi kids. It's not just Desi kids, it's Desi kids, Arab kids, all kinds of people. And I know there's another term which people kind of like substitute, and the term, I don't know if I should say it. It's sand N-word, right? So it's kind of like, that's like the Arab or Middle Eastern version of the N-word. But yeah, so I just want to call attention to that. We need to stop. We need to stop using that N-word, and I hope we can make a change, starting with everyone who's listening to this. You be the person who makes a change in your friends and the people around you. Profanity, N-word, all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's just a couple thoughts, inshallah ta'ala. And Allah knows best. Until next time, take care. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.